Hey guys, welcome to the channel. Welcome back if you're a subscriber. My name's Neil and it's time for another episode of Lost. And Losties, it's time for us to finally talk deeply about the others. We learned a lot about the others in the last episode, episode 6 of season 2, because we learned about the experience the TAILIES survivors had of the others. On their first day on the island, the others took 3 of them. So let's start doing some survivor math here. There were 23 survivors from the TAILIES section. On the first day, they lost 3. 2 weeks later, they lost 9 more. So they've lost 12 out of 23 at that point. That means they're down to 11. When we meet them, they seem to be down to about 6 or 7, although we never get to quite see all of them at once. We know there were 5 on the beach when we first saw them for the very first time, but Ana Lucia wasn't part of them, so there's at least 6. What happened to the remaining 5? How did they get down from 11 to 6? And as we've been hiking through the jungle in the last couple of episodes, there are 5 or 6. We lost one more last episode, I forget her name, but as they were carrying Sawyer up the bank of the river over those massive roots, it appears that the others got one more of the TAILIES survivors. So now they're down to 5, I think. We're down to Bernard, Libby, Mr. Echo, Ana. That might even be it. Or is there one more? I'm not sure. But we might be down to 4. And of course, the cliffhanger of all cliffhangers, end of last episode, Ana Lucia accidentally shoots Shannon with the 1 bullet left in the gun that she took off of Sawyer. And I don't think we're going to know what happens to Shannon in this episode, because this episode is called The Other 48 Days. And I haven't been keeping perfect track, but I do know that we're at approximately 48 days since the crash. So this title would make me think that we are going to find out more about what happened to the TAILIES section survivors since the crash. You know, let's do a bit of their group backstory. So it'll be very fascinating to learn more about them. But back to the others. Libby, the psychologist, she suggested that the others took some kids out of their group. So we know, what do we know about the others? We know that they took Danielle's daughter Alex, 16 years ago. We know that they took Walt. We know Danielle thought they were going after Claire's child. We know they took Claire quite possibly because she was pregnant. And now we hear that maybe they took some TAILIES section survivor kids as well. So what is it about kids that the others want? Why are they targeting children? That's a huge question, obviously. We still don't know who the others are. We haven't seen the others other than Ethan back in season 1 and numerous feet a couple of episodes back when Jin and Mr. Echo were hiding in the woods looking for Michael. So we don't know, we haven't really seen them. We do know that the whispers are associated with them, and yet the TAILIES survivors are petrified of the whispers because it seems like every time they hear them, some of them go missing. And yet we've experienced the whispers numerous times with the midsection survivors, our core survivors, and no one has yet been attacked. You know, it has been a scary moments, but there's been no real peril because there's been no loss associated with the whispers up till now. So yeah, it's a very different experience, what we know about the whispers from season 1 and what we're learning about the whispers based on how the TAILIES survivors are reacting to them. The fear of the others is really being ramped up based on the experience that the TAILIES section has had. So yeah, it's very fascinating. I want to learn more, obviously, about the TAILIES survivors. Hopefully we're going to get them now. I wonder whether we're actually going to get a proper flashback, a pre-flight flashback into one of their lives. Presumably that would be Ana Lucia. She's certainly been built up the most up to now. So maybe we get that. You know, maybe this is an Ana Lucia episode. That would be very interesting. I don't know what else to say at this point, so let's get right into it. This is episode 7 of season 2, and it's called The Other 48 Days. Oh, are we actually seeing the crash? What's coming down in the top left there? Yeah. Tail. Wow. We're jumping right into it, folks. This is awesome. Ana Lucia wakes up in the water. That's what she told us. Oh, there's the teddy bear. We saw that teddy bear before.
Where's my mom? He's meeting us in Los Angeles.
Uh-oh.
We're not there yet. I promise. We're gonna get you home soon, okay?
Fun.
Would you look after the children?
She's the one that went missing, isn't she? Oh, man. Just pulling out the bodies.
I went off the smoggle, lost my edge, and BAM! Now that was bad. You a doctor? Here in med school before I dropped out. You a doctor?
No.
Hey! I need some help! There's someone in the jungle! It's alive!
I don't think we're going to get a lot of easily offered info from her. Stuck up in the tree?
Help! Help!
Oh my god.
What's your name?
Bernard!
You're gonna be all right, Bernard. I need you to focus, Bernard. Unbuckle your seatbelt. Now grab the branch next to you.
You can do it, Bernard. I'm assuming we're going to meet Goodwin. Maybe it's the guy right there with Ana Lucia.
All right, hold on tight, okay?
What is her backstory? She's definitely the Jack of this group, isn't she? That's got to be Goodwin.
What are you, a Boy Scout?
Grown-up version. Under the Peace Corps.
They still have that?
Just happy somebody your age actually knows what it is.
What's your name?
Good one.
I forget why he and Rose were in different parts of the plane.
That's my wife. I can't find her.
I will pray for her.
What was that? What happened?
So Echo's seen them. Oh, but that's not what they think. What's up here? Day 2.
No wallet.
Oh, he killed
Cell
2 of
phone,
them.
No keys, nothing.
Look, 3 of the people are missing. The blonde guy, the curly-haired guy, and the German who was helping us with the injured.
Did you see anything?
No, I
Where
didn't.
they came from? How many there were?
No, I didn't see anything.
These people were here before us.
Yeah, he's arming himself.
We need to get off the beach.
How are we all gonna get rescued if we're off the beach?
Nathan's right.
This Nathan guy is being set up as a character, but we don't know him.
The infection is getting worse.
He'll be the 4th to go.
What are we supposed to do about that?
Well, they've lost a bunch already.
You haven't said a word in a week. It wasn't your fault, you know. You were just defending yourself.
We know 9 more are going to go missing in a couple of days.
I had to go to the bathroom.
We have a system for that. We go in pairs.
Yeah, sorry.
What are they doing for water? living on the beach. You're not exactly near a good source. Yeah.
The kids! We took the cat!
They're killing some others, but
Is that a knife? What is that?
It's a list.
of what?
A list of what?
A list of what?
9 of us.
The others know their names? What's up with that?
Here are the names of every single person they took. All 9 of them. What they were wearing, what they looked like. One of them had a list of us.
Maybe they're watching us.
Maybe this
You were
Nathan
gone
isn't
for 2
Ethan.
hours yesterday.
Was he a Was he an infiltrator, just like Ethan was? Nathan and Ethan.
Let's not get paranoid here. We don't know anything.
If his last name is Moore, then he's another man. Yeah, he's there, Ethan. He didn't come out of the water.
Fresh water, rock wall at our backs, lots of fruit trees. Right here looks pretty good to me.
Fine. Okay.
Day 17.
He creeps me out, Anna. You really think it's possible that one of us is
One of them.
one of them?
Why do you think I'm digging this hole?
Oh, hey, Anna.
Whoa. Building the pit.
You and I are gonna have a little talk, Nathan. He wasn't on the plane.
Every time I ask him anything, he just dodges.
No, if he really were one of them, why would he still be here?
I don't know, but I'm gonna find out.
Nathan Rome, another man.
You got a problem with this? Where are you from, Nathan?
Canada.
What were you doing in Australia?
Company retreat.
I looked at all the others are
Where are the kids,
Canadian.
Nathan?
It's the best cover story. No one suspects the Canadian.
Where are the kids? Who gave them food? Who did it?
I'm worried about you, Anna. You've had him down there 4 days.
I promised that little girl that I would get her back home to her mom.
Do you have any kids, Anna?
No.
She had to think on that. She had to think on being married, too, when Sawyer asked her.
We should let him go. We're not savages.
Grab the rope. I'll pull you up.
Goodwin. This is the night you die.
Hey, you need to get away from here.
Whoa. Is Goodwin the decoy? Or the mole, the spy? Oh, that's some clever deception.
Nathan's gone. They found us. It's time to move.
Interesting. So Nathan really was from Canada?
Some sort of bunker.
Do you think it's theirs?
Yeah, same sign as on the hatch. That's expected. I've looked at the logo in here. It's identical to the one in Swan, other than the fact that it's an arrow instead of, yeah. But the placement of the I Chings, those are all the same. The I Ching symbols. They still got power. What do they got? What's in there? Blankets? What's the book? That'll come.
It's a glass eye.
Bible. He's a religious man, obviously, which is why he's not talking since he killed. He was going to say prayers. Radio. That's where they found it.
It's a
Are we
radio.
going to hear Boone call in?
The hills are blocking it. If we want a signal, we need to get to higher ground.
I'll go with you.
She's good to be suspicious.
Why do you think they're doing this?
Maybe they're not attacking us.
Why do you think they take some of us and not the others?
You know, that first night, they took the strongest of us.
They didn't
Why
take
didn't
you.
they take you? Yeah.
They don't even wear shoes. How'd they get an army knife?
She an ex-soldier?
This knife's probably 20 years old.
No.
You don't see
She,
these anymore.
she can just read.
And you ran out of the jungle the day of the crash. How did you find Bernard up in the tree? Did he see you out there? Is that why you pretended to be one of us? You ran out of the jungle 10 minutes after the crash. You weren't wet.
Yeah.
You were never even in the ocean.
You were never on the plane.
Nathan, did you kill him?
Nathan was not a good person. That's why he wasn't on the list.
So only the good people got taken? The innocents?
What about the kids?
So they see them as like themselves as like rescuers of innocents. He ends up with a big stick through his chest. I'm going to assume it's that one right there. So 3 plus 9 plus Nathan plus Goodwin.
Where's Goodwin?
We're safe here now.
Man, I'd be scared of her if I was one of the others. Can you trust her? This is going to be hearing
wasting your
boom.
time with that thing?
It really doesn't.
Anybody out there? Mayday, mayday! We're survivors of the crash of Oceanic Flight 815. Please copy.
We're the survivors of Flight 815. No, wait a minute. What are you doing?
It's them.
No.
They're trying to find us. There are no survivors.
It was clever of them naming the decoy Nathan because it automatically makes you think Ethan. Very clever writing. Time for Mr. Echo to talk.
Going to be okay.
What, you talking now?
It's been 40 days.
Is that the penance he had to pay?
You've been waiting 40 days to talk.
You waited 40 days to cry.
Is his tattoo an awful like Jack's? It's hard to tell, but okay, this is gonna be the Jin moment, I'm guessing. Yeah.
Get in, Lucia! Quick!
Where are you from?
I'm glad they're explaining Jin running out of the woods with his hands tied behind his back.
He's running!
Yeah, we've seen all this. We're just gonna montage through this, aren't we? Every movie needs a montage.
Hit me.
Yeah. And we're gonna finish with her shooting Shannon, aren't we? That's gonna be the closing beat. This is about as close as it gets to a bottle episode on Lost, I think. Here we go. Yeah. You just killed a woman. There we go. We are caught up. All right, that was a very different episode from your typical episode of Lost. Obviously, it took place over a lot longer stretch of time. Technically, the whole episode was a flashback, but the other way to look at it was that there were no flashbacks at all. There was a very clever decoy there in the whole Nathan is this group's Ethan thing. Goodwin turned out to be the spy in the group, which made total sense in retrospect. But yeah, just really fascinating. It does raise some questions, obviously, because we know Ethan infiltrated the middle section survivors, presumably quite early on, but we never saw. I always assumed like he sort of joined the group sometime during the first day or two. It feels like the survivors of the midsection were spread out. Jack, our very first shot of the entire show, he wakes up in a bamboo thicket away from the beach. So it feels like the group's really scattered about. Here, it feels like there's a ton of survivors in a very small area, all in the water, all near the beach. Although Bernard and whatever unfortunate guy happened to be sitting next to him, they ended up stuck in a tree inland. And because Bernard landed inland, why would Goodwin not? But the fact that he was there, like Anna Lucia pointed out, he was there within 10 minutes. Either that's incredible coincidence that he's been there waiting for them, so to speak. But otherwise, it's a big island. We know how big an island. It takes days and days and days to walk across. So it really does feel like the others were waiting for the plane to crash, which makes so little sense. I just don't know what to make of that, but that's fascinating. Ana Lucia and Goodwin's conversation while they were walking to higher ground to test the radio was an interesting one, because we kind of got Goodwin's perspective on what he thinks the others is, and obviously if he is one of the others, then his perspective is going to be a little more forgiving, and he couldn't help but suggest that, you know, maybe they're not doing bad things. Maybe there's a purpose to this. Maybe they took the good ones. You know, so the first night they tried to take away the 4 tough ones, the security, the ones that would have caused them trouble. And after that, they took the 9 good survivors. So was that, I guess my question is if Ethan had infiltrated the main group, why didn't something similar happen there? Secondly, what do the others think they're doing? What is their mission? Why are they taking the good ones? They're much more primitive than I thought. You know, they're dressed in rags, they don't have shoes, and yet, like Ana Lucia says, they've got, you know, military knives from 20 years ago. Now, it would make sense that the others have access to one of the Dharma stations. They may not have found Swan. They may not even have known about Arrow, although Goodwin didn't seem too surprised by it. But yeah, the others just remain an incredibly perplexing mystery to me. How long they've been there, who they are, what they think they're doing, why are they there, what is their mission? I just don't know. And then there was that one more little throwaway when we went into the Arrow station for the first time, and we found there's this chest, and in the chest there appeared to be blankets. That's where they found the radio, they found a Bible, and they found a glass eye. Because it was just the one thing, that's not just a throwaway, that's there for a reason. But what that means, not a clue. I'm sure it's going to be answered down the road, but yeah, it's such an odd thing, you know. And it's a throwaway because there's so much else that was happening in the episode. Right after that, you know, we get the whole tension of the Ana Lucia Goodwin Hike conversation, fight, death, and so that's how you bury exposition, is you put it just before something much more shocking, bigger, more intriguing, so you don't even have time to think about the clue that's just been revealed. And this show is especially good at doing stuff like that. I really appreciate the way they craft these stories. It was really cool to see the alternate perspective of certain events that we've already known about. Now we know who was on the other side of the radio when Boone was in the Beechcraft on that radio. A very pointless conversation ultimately there. No, we're the survivors. No, we're the survivors. And then nothing. And we also saw how Jin made it to shore and was resuscitated and then tied up, which made a ton of sense now that we've seen it all. One of the other things that the writers and the producers do on the show really well is they know how to step away from the story for a moment. You know, they lay something really big and earth-shattering on you, and then they step away with a couple of feel-good episodes. They kill Shannon, and instead of picking up right where we left off, we've got to wait a whole episode just to see the other side, you know, just to learn a little bit more about our tail survivors. I think we're just down to 4 now. We're down to Bernard, Mr. Echo, Ana Lucia, and Liddy. Sydney has gone missing, and they were the only 5 that seemed to make the final trek. They didn't fully explain where everybody went, but clearly a few more survivors died while they were still on the beach. So 3 were taken on the first night. Then the guy with the broken leg died. They buried him. There were other graves there. So that makes us think that, you know, it looked like there were about 7 or 8 graves. So a bunch more people died in just those first few days. Those were clearly the injured that they just couldn't care for. Then 9 more, then Sydney, and now we're down to 4. You know, we always come back to the numbers, don't we? I was beginning to wonder whether this group seemed to have different numbers that were ruling their lives. There seemed to be a lot of 3s and 9s popping up in their narrative, but no, we're back to 4. So yeah, very, very interesting episode. We learned about some characters. We know Libby is a psychologist. We actually learned that the previous episode. Well, Goodwin was lying, but he told us he was in the Peace Corps. Oh, and Nathan obviously was killed too by Goodwin. But we don't know about Ana Lucia, and obviously she's a very intriguing character. She's hesitated a few times when people ask her questions, which makes you wonder whether her answers are the truth or not. Sawyer asked her whether she was married. She paused, finally said no. Goodwin asked her whether she had kids. She paused and then said no. No real indication of what her background is. I mean, she's obviously very capable. At various points during this episode, I was thinking, she may have been a paramedic. Maybe she used to be in the military. Maybe she's just, a no-nonsense single mom who's had her kids taken away from her or something. Like, who knows? Who knows what her background is? I suspect we're going to start getting into flashbacks of these remaining 4 Tales survivors, if not this season, eventually. And I'm sure everyone's looking forward to learning more about Ana Lucia. I know I am. But yeah, the only way we can do that is keep watching, right? So stay tuned in a couple of days for my next reaction. Thank you guys so much for following along. If you haven't subscribed yet, please consider hitting that red button right now so you don't miss any of my reactions. Don't forget to comment and tell me what you think. I do read almost every comment out there, folks, so just because I'm not responding, don't think I'm not reading them. I really do appreciate all your thoughts, your encouragement, all of that. I have so much fun doing this, guys, and the community is a big reason why. So until next time, take care, stay healthy, and we'll see you soon. Cheers.